Hey yo, Vendetta face reveal? That's funny. That's funny. What's good, Adam? Yeah, we're gonna get Vendetta in here in just a second. Interview doesn't start until a few minutes from now. Just waiting for a response for him. Yeah, so we're just waiting. We're just waiting for a little bit. Everything sound okay? Like music's at a good like a good volume and everything like that, voice and everything. I just want to make sure because we're gonna be using this for footage as well. It's gonna be completely unedited too. I'm recording the raw file, then just gonna send it over to Nuff. He can just put it over in the Smush. GG. This isn't gonna be recorded or anything like that. Not that I want to, but I just want to make sure everything's good for it. So. Cool. Just do a quick little okay, that sounds fine. Cool. Alright. Let's get the lights set up for this. Cool. Awesome. Cool. Let's get it. Might, depending on the time that we have, might ask him a little bit of extra questions, or if he has any extra questions for me. I'm kind of doing this off the fly, so this is kind of like, this is gonna be very weird. Making sure everything's good, that he's ready to do his thing. Check here. Let Nuff know that we're live. Beautiful. Nuff's already on top of it. Nice. Cool. Alright. So we're just gonna give it a couple more minutes. Vendetta's getting himself ready and everything like that. No, I missed the first. It happens. It happens. It'd be like that. So once I get everything like set up for Vendetta and everything like that, I'm gonna get his camera and everything set up, and then we'll go from there. Ask him a couple of the questions that not only just me, but a lot of the Smush production team has asked them as well, and we'll go from there. See if he has any questions for your boy, or anything like that for the team, and then yeah, we'll do that. Last night was real fun. Yeah, it was really fun. I liked it. It was very fun. So we're just gonna wait on Vendetta, give him a little bit of time and everything like that. I don't know if he was ready for it to be the case for 11 a.m. for this one, but he said he was okay with it, so I'll give him the time he needs and everything like that, and then we'll keep it to about 30-ish, like 30-ish minutes. All right, he's good to go. Cool. Make sure my Discord is good. That's good. Okay. Let's give him a call. All right. We're about to get into it, y'all. A Vendetta. There we go. Awesome. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I'm just gonna adjust your volume a bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Let me also deal with the input sensitivity portion on my side. Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. I think we got everything we need for now. Let me see. I'm just getting everything set up because Discord likes to be stupid sometimes. I don't know why though. There we go. And we're all set. Okay. All right. I'm not going to try and keep this too long, but Vendetta, we appreciate you for taking your time to do this interview. Appreciate you as always. Not to mention, dude won SmU5h Weekly for yesterday. So round of applause there. That's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So I gotta ask the question, like when you join these weeklies and everything like that, like what's your main focus or anything like that? Do you try to do this for like matchup experience, or like do you do like what do you do it for? Like what's your drive to do it?
Basically, whenever I join online tournaments, it's pretty much the same thing as I would do with offline tournaments, but specifically with online tournament, it's a way to kind of fortify my mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, online is pretty much known to be just that environment where it can kind of be a little irritating to play.
Yeah, I can
With
understand.
how it is, and just being online. Like, yeah, a lot of people know how it is, but in a way, for me specifically, it's a way for me to kind of overcome like an obstacle. Like, yeah, this lag is might be bad. This delay might be might not be something really good, but it helps. It helps like it helps me with my mentality. Like, if I can beat people online and I can keep kind of like prospering through it, then when I go offline, it's obviously going to be a lot better because nothing, there are no like, unfortunate circumstances outside of that, right?
Right.
So it's just a way for me to just make my mentality a lot better. Also, just getting that matchup experience. You have 80 characters in this game. When I don't really go to my local much because it's not really convenient for me for myself to actually go, but I'm not gonna have all 80 characters at my local. Everybody doesn't play all 80 characters.
Right.
It's just I can't see that happening. But when you play online tournaments, I've fought many good players that have had characters that are really good that don't even exist in my region, which is really good experience. So there's just a lot of there's just a lot of good opportunity when it comes to online tournaments. As much as people don't like to complain about it, there's still some positivity that comes from playing online.
Right. And that's good. That's good you mentioned that too, because I know for me, whenever like, and that goes for anybody, right? Anybody who plays on Ultimate Wi-Fi, we can all agree that Nintendo Online kind of sucks. We can all agree on that. And I mean, yesterday was a bit on the jankier side, more so. Everybody calling lag test and everything, and it happens like that. And that's the good part about it. At least you have a good mentality when going into it. That you look for it for matchup experience. You look for it to help your mentality. So that's really good. I like that. I know that's what a lot of top players, a lot of pro players would say. Like, hey, this is my mentality mindset. Like this is how I'm gonna go into tournaments. From now on, it helps my mentality. It helps me, like, for people not getting salty, even though it's Smash Ultimate Wi-Fi. It helps. So that's good. Let's see. So, like, what really, like, what got you into Smash in the first place? Like, I know everybody was like, oh, hey, this is VendettaFGC. Like, he plays Ken, he plays Ryu. By the way, y'all, if y'all don't know who VendettaFGC is, y'all been pretty much living under a rock. I'm almost certain, like, you started since Smash 4, right? If I remember correctly?
Competitive-wise, yeah, Smash 4.
Competitive-wise, is Smash 4. And Ryu was in Smash 4. Ryu was a very broken character in Smash 4.
Very,
he shore you with rage. I don't think we have to get into the details of when that killed. Full invincibility and everything. That thing killed at like sub 50, so to speak. I'm just giving an example, but like what got you into the competitive scene? Like, did you see yourself actually being like good at the game, or was it something that you really liked to do, or like what got you into Smash in the first place?
I mean, Smash was just a casual game for me at the time. Back when Smash 4 first released, I didn't even have a Wii U, at the time. Jeez. So when I got that, I specifically got a Wii U just for Smash 4, and I was super excited when it got mailed to my house. Mm-hmm. So I, playing it, trying to find a character that I can play, not competitive wise, but just to focus on. I mean, even then, as a casual with the casual mindset of like, I gotta find somebody I want to play. I ended up playing Little Mac, and that Little Mac in that game wasn't the greatest. He had some things, but he really wasn't the greatest, just competitive wise. Regardless, it was just something I did. I played with items. I love the items. I still love them to this day. If anybody asked me like, hey, you want to play items, like, yeah, heck yeah, dude. But yeah, it was just something that I was just like good at, even as a casual. I just knew what I was doing. I could do different things. But then I had a friend back in college that would invite us to this venue and said, hey, we have this venue at this place where we play Smash on a serious level. We're like, oh, okay, let's go. Me and my friend at the time kind of just went over there, and like the competition was heavy. And I thought like, yo, like not only is this a game I love, but this is like on a competitive level. And the more I played it, the more I was like, wait a minute, this is really fun. We're like, there's no items. It's just 1v1, and we're just like fighting to the death essentially. I was like, wow, this is really cool. And at the time, of course, I was still like improving. I was probably better than most, but I'm nowhere near where I was today, and everything was still much of a challenge. So as time went on, eventually Ryu came out, which definitely increased my motivation for the game, because it was like looking at Little Mac just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough at the time. And then Ryu came out, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is kind of crazy. So it was just having that friend that really introduced me into the competitive scene back around, like, I want to say 2016. Right. And it just was like a really sweet experience, because now, looking back on it, I wouldn't be where I was today if I never was introduced to not just the competitive scene. Well, not just like, competitive Smash, but just like, just them letting us know like, hey, like we have like a little get together spot where we just kind of like go try hard, and I think like it's just that idea of like playing the game that I love, but playing it to like an even like more intensive, kind of I guess kind of intensive kind of like like outlook,
Right.
is what kind of drove me to do what I do today, what I love, and that's just, you know, playing Smash, playing the Shotos, Ryu and Ken, you know, Terry and Kazi are there too. But I think just overall, it's a really cool experience. I can always look back on it and understand it and remember why I am where I am today.
It's good, man. I mean, look, there's actually a couple new things that I just heard from that too. So I knew that you started from Smash 4, but I had no idea that Little Mac was in that list for you to play characters like that. First of all, everyone and their mama can say that Little Mac was like by far one of the worst characters in Smash 4. By far, right? We're really bad recovery. Horrible disadvantage, right? Had really good frame data in general. Like, he had super armor, he had good frame data, he had kill power, and that's something that was going for the character, but like you said, it wasn't enough, right? So once Ryu and Ken came out, that was your motivation. So that was like your motivation to actually kind of play those two characters. And that's funny, actually. So in my next question, I was actually gonna ask like why did you choose Ryu and Ken? You kind of answered it too, but just a little bit more is like why you chose those like as your main. Like, was Street Fighter your favorite game, or was it like was it more like, hey, this character fits my playstyle type of thing? You know, like what was that all about?
So basically, you know, Ryu, before Ryu was even like announced, Ryu ended up being leaked along with Roy, and I want to say Lucas too. All three of them on the same day. And I saw it on, like, it was on Facebook. It was like leaked on Facebook, whatever reason. I was like, yo, I told my dad, because, you know, my dad is the reason that I even play Street Fighter. Growing up, that was my go-to fighting game, favorite fighting game. It still is my favorite fighting game. And I'd always play the Shotos. It'd always usually be Ryu, you know. But I told my dad, say, hey, yo, dad, look, like, Ryu's in like my favorite game. He's like, yeah. So I was like, oh. But you know, seeing that was like a grand opportunity. Like, yo, this is sick. I can play the character I grew up with in one of my favorite games. It was like a way to kind of connect like what my dad kind of showed me, and then what I love at the exact same time. Ryu was super hard initially for me because it was just something totally different introduced to Smash. Like I was aware of the inputs, but the inputs were definitely still they still were definitely different introduced into Smash. They're not the same. I mean, some inputs are, but the way that the combos work, they aren't really the same as Street Fighter. Right. So it's something you have to still get used to. I know a lot of Shoto players that hadn't even played Street Fighter that mained them. I know plenty of them, but yeah, like that character like kind of instantly clicked with me. It took me a while to get used to him, but over time he became, my beloved character, and that transferred into Smash Ultimate naturally with how the inputs work and all that. And except just kind of learning like new mechanics and whatnot. And then that's kind of like how it worked with Ryu and Ken. However, I made Belmonts in the beginning for about a year or two.
That's interesting. So. Okay. Belmonts. Now that's interesting too, because like Belmont versus like the Shotos, those characters like I see no correlation with those characters whatsoever, right? Now obviously Castlevania being a really like, if you don't have a childhood if you never played Castlevania, honestly, that in my opinion, that's very like based off of my opinion, but when it comes to Street Fighter, everyone has played Street Fighter, and that's funny you say that. So this is more like a childhood thing. Like this is more like he's in my game, so I have to play him. This is like, and Ken just so happened to be in the game as well, and we already know how different both of those characters work in Ultimate. Well, they work similar, but they have very different functions. Shoryu's different. They have different inputs when it comes to killing, and one has shakunets and one just has regular Hadoken, right? It's more like a childhood thing, and that I think a lot of people appreciate the fact of the matter that if it's if it's a character that you grew up with, if it's a character that you played and stuff like that, then I know for a fact that I'm still gonna play this character. For me, for instance, I was the Mario guy. If you ask me like who my main was in any single Smash game, right, I would say Mario every single time, because Mario is just my childhood and growing up. Still main Mario to this day in Ultimate, right? And that's how that correlates. It's like childhood, honestly. So that's good. I like that a lot. Let's see. What was I gonna ask too? There was one question that wasn't on the list of questions that I was gonna ask, but I totally forgot it. So it'll probably come back to me. So how, like, for a tournament yesterday, right, when you were playing, so I know you were playing people like Freshness, Capitan Cedo, and everything like that. So when you're playing those people, like, have you fought Capitan Cedo before, in general, at least before this tournament, or was it like, did you fight him in general? Do you know who he was?
So, yeah, I knew who Capitan Cedo was. He's considered the best meat gunner in the world at the moment. He's got plenty of good wins. I know him and Sonics play like a lot at their local in Vegas, and they go back and forth essentially. So he's a scary player. But before the tournament, the only other times I ever played him were a couple of times in Coinbox, which we kind of went back and forth in terms of Coinbox. But that's. He's just a scary overall player. So just kind of fighting him in this tournament was more of like a wake up call. I'm aware of just how skilled he is as a player. So I understand that I need to play in a way where not that I just come out on top and win, but I have to focus and play just very disciplined compared to like our previous encounters with Coinbox, because I understood how to take my my experiences with him in previous tournaments or previous sets, and just kind of apply the counterplay and apply the the discipline, the mentality that it takes to fight and defeat a player such as himself, because it is a challenge. It's like an uphill battle when you're fighting someone like Meat Gunner, especially him himself. So it's definitely an experience nonetheless, and I'm sure we're gonna play more and more in the future. So it's definitely a treat in my opinion. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was watching, when I was commentating the bracket yesterday for your matches and everything. So like not only were you fighting Capitan Cedo, right? So you were fighting Freshness, the Me Brawler Osh9. You were fighting Osh9, and I wanted to ask, so like for your mindset when you go into those tournaments, right, and you're fighting those people, like versus an offline mindset, because I know for like an offline mindset is way different than like an online mindset, so to speak, if I would put it in those terms, right? And I know if you've like never gone to a local or anything like that, it's like, oh, you're just playing online, you're doing this like online option or something like that, right? When you're going into these tournaments and knowing the experience that you've had for these locals and everything like that, and you fight like people like Osh9 and Capitan Cedo and Freshness and everything like that, so what's your mindset going in, knowing those players and knowing, oh hey, these are really good players and everything like that, that is like, how do I have to play? Like, what's your mindset going into them, like if you lose or if you win or anything like that?
Well, I never really think about like winning or losing. It's just more so, what do I need to do to play my best and to play consistent? Because usually I play Osh like almost every tournament we play in, and not to stroke my ego or anything, but I usually beat him at like almost every single time. He's beat me a couple of times, but if I had to guess, we've played maybe like maybe around like 20 plus times in that one. Pretty much most of those, but. I understand it's like if I keep winning these these games versus like Freshness, and I've played Freshness maybe more recently speaking. He's they're more of a new name to me, but I've played him a few times already, and because I'm just kind of winning constantly or consistently against these characters or players, it's just more so having the mentality of, well, win or lose, I need to keep playing consistently, as consistent as possible, doing the things that I'm usually doing, being aware of possible just adaptation. I know Ash has been getting a lot better with our games, So it's definitely something that I have noticed and taken into consideration when it comes to my adaptation and mentality and just overall gameplay with our sets. Understanding that, eventually, these players are going to give you the challenge that that's really going to push you with trying to keep consistent kind of like gameplay with them and just whoever else. So it's nice that you see these names in these tournaments and you recognize, you're like, okay, this I need to be prepared for. I see Ash9, I see Mo, aka Peru, I see Freshness, I see Capitacito, I see Thorn, these different Wi-Fi names that are known to just have like exceptional skill and just just kind of push through and just prosper online. And like I said, seeing those names helps me be ready and be focused. Like, yeah, okay, here it is. This is what I need to do. They play these characters. I gotta play this specific way. And if everything goes right, win or lose, I'm gonna do the very best that I can. And there's always something to learn from it.
And that's really good for your mentality too. And that I know that from general, at least anyways, now in terms of mentality, that's really good too, in terms of knowing what to do for your consistency of your character. I know that's also good too, and that's what keeps you. That's what I've realized, at least anyways, when watching your play, is that whenever you're playing, not that it's like you're doing the same things or anything like that, but when you're playing versus a certain player, you have their play style like downloaded, it seems, though, right? Like versus like people like Jazar or something like that, or versus Capitan Cito. Anytime when you see a projectile, right, you're either parrying it or you're jumping over it. One way or two, you're not getting hit by any general projectiles. You recognize when someone's like getting off of the ledge. I was like, okay, so if they're gonna do this option, I'm gonna press this option. It's gonna win because I've already labbed how this is gonna work, right? Like you do these type of things as consistently as possible, and it shows in play, right? It shows in play, and not only just in play, but helps your mindset, helps your what would I say? Like, I guess your ego in a sense, because like your ego kind of is like, oh, like I won versus this player, but at the same time I'm practicing and everything like that. I know how good this player is, so I'm not gonna sugarcoat it that I know how good I am. I know how good he is, and that's where the respect comes in when it comes to certain players. So that's really good. Okay, so like how'd you find out about our weeklies? I would say, because like I know for like a general amount of online tournaments, like if any online tournaments like Coinbox or like when during when COVID happened, there was like everything was online, right? Everything was online. Like how'd you find us in general? Did you see it because it was a prize pool, or did you see it as like experience, or did you see it like, oh hey, I can join this tournament, let me try and practice and actually get better? Like, what was your mindset through that?
So a lot of times when I do go into the different types of tournaments, I go on StarGG, I take the time to kind of look and see how many interests there are, the communities, things like that. And one of the things is that I like looking for strong players. I looking for number of people, and I like looking for strong players.
Right.
And what's really cool is that this is one of those tournaments. Frost Esports. Although there's a prize, which is what drives a lot of people. That's not my main motivation. My motivation is to play really good players, to have fun in my stream, in my chat. And to just really grind, those matchups that I can't find offline, and just play, an online setting to really work through my mentality. And, having, these tournaments, especially prize ones, they are what's going to bring those strong opponents together, and for us to have like one crazy tournament. I see Frost Esports as just one of those those tournaments, and one of those communities where I can constantly come back and just enjoy myself, have a good time, be able to improve. right? One of the few tournament communities where I feel like this is where I can really test myself and really get to where I want to be, especially if online is the place where I believe that I can really become the player that I strive to be, maybe top 30 in the world, maybe top 8 a major again, win a major, who knows,
Hmm.
right? I believe like this is part of the journey, this is part of the goal. It's just constantly playing in tournaments like these, fighting these characters, fighting these players, working through the adaptation, the habits, the patterns, the gameplay, all of that to kind of work through and make it that so that it translates offline. And when I'm ready to really show myself, and hopefully one day I can really just prove like this is all this work was it was something that was necessary, and it was something that paid off.
That's good. That's good. Um, so that's more so just so you're not even looking at the prize pool. You're just looking at in general. It's like what experience can I get in? Let me see what I could do to make myself better when it comes to this. And a lot of people, they look at online tournaments a very different way. I've seen like a lot of people look at Wi-Fi tournaments through the money aspect of it. Like for us, for Smush tournaments, we have a $100 prize pool. First place gets 70, and 30 goes to second place. But a lot of other people, I don't think like understand the fact of the matter, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to this, that when they look at these tournaments, they're like, am I looking for this to get better? Because for future tournaments, like I can go on future tournaments and I actually have that experience. You know what I'm saying? And I know for the money aspect, it was like, I suppose it's like a bonus, so to speak, right? Like the money aspect is like a bonus. Like, oh, like I won $70. That's cool. But I know for me, I actually managed to get the experience that I need, and later on that'll translate into actual like bigger and better things. So yeah, that's good. So I know a lot of other people have been having the speculation of like, so you play on box controller. Everyone knows, I saw it on a stream where you were playing box controller with like Kazi or something like that, which, how the freak do you do it? I need to know. Like I can't bring myself to like play a box with the character that I play, because I'm like, for playing with a box controller or a Smash box, whatever you want to call it, it's just, I'm looking at that, I'm like, it doesn't correlate. It doesn't correlate. So like, how, when you're playing with box controller, like, have you played with it in tournaments before with the box controller?
So when it comes to the box, I actually don't play Ryu and Ken with the box. I play Kazuya with the box.
With the box, okay.
Yeah, that's the character I play with the box. Now Ryu and Ken, I've tried playing with the box. It was a little uncomfortable. Honestly, I kind of want to try and get back into just using the box with them. It just felt a little weird to me. However, whenever I do play with the box, specifically with Kazuya, I even tried it with Terry and it feels really good. But just in general, playing with the box, it definitely is a weird controller, because it's just so different from your standard GameCube or Pro controller. It's like,
Right.
Oh my god, you're really taking what is the standard, which is those handheld controllers, and you're moving on to what is like essentially just like a fighting game kind of like controller, a stick, an arcade stick, right? So naturally, just growing up, I would play on arcade sticks. I played Street Fighter with my dad. He was showing me stuff. I'd use his arcade sticks, and it would, it'd be really fun. And it would never feel right not playing. It would never feel right playing Street Fighter without playing an arcade stick. I still have a couple of arcade sticks around, but it was just a matter of familiarity and being able to use that to my advantage when it came to playing, the FGCs, fighting game characters in this game. And although I only play Kazuya with the fighting box, I'm sure I could, if I mastered it, over time, I could do it with the rest of like Ryu, Ken, and Terry. But it's
Right.
just, it allows me to, like I said, it's that familiarity of just growing up playing on the sticks in general with the Street Fighter and able to kind of translate it to Smash. Now it's not like your typical arcade stick in your typical fighting game, but it is something that I was able to kind of put together, and just over time with a lot of dedication and motivation, I was able to kind of master it and just put it to work. It's a seriously crazy controller. It just works so well. Honestly, it's probably more optimal than a standard controller, but at the end of the day, it's all preference. Personally, I prefer just regular GameCube for the Shotos, and I prefer box. But who knows? Whatever works for you, whatever works best, as everything to you, pretty much. It's pretty good.
Yeah, because I know box controller for me. I'm wondering to myself, like, I'm picturing the box, right? Like, I'm picturing the box where you got all these buttons, right? And then not only like all the buttons that are there, but it's one joystick. You got buttons for your C stick, and then you got buttons for your shield and buttons for your normals and your specials. I'm thinking, like, for a controller like this, with two sticks, right? With two sticks, you got 4 buttons on the right, and then you got your left stick, your right stick, and everything like that. That feels fine, but the box is one of those, like, what the hell am I doing? Like, what is that? Like, what is this? Like, this is it's so foreign, right? So for you at least, anyways, when you're playing with the box and everything like that, I'm looking at the way how you play, and it's actually kind of vastly different, but I see where it kind of translates over to controller. Like, you obviously you can say yourself that you're better on controller than you are with box, right?
Right, yeah, definitely.
So you've mastered controller, you know how to play with controller, you have all the inputs down and everything like that. But with box, you still manage to actually pull through a really, really good fight if you're fighting versus someone. Like, for me, if I were playing versus you and you were playing on box, I would still be like, okay, I still have to remember this is Vendetta we're talking about. And if he's playing on box, still, even minus the fact that, like, you would think if, like, for other people who would think, like, oh, he's handicapping himself, or he's trying to just learn box or anything like that, like, I don't think personally, for, like, using box in general, that, like, you're handicapping yourself in a way. Because if you're learning box and you finally master it, then are you really handicapping yourself at the end of it? Like, if you know how to play on controller and you know how to play on box, like, that's in itself is, like, insane, right? So I think, did we get through all of our questions? I think we did. Yeah, we got through all of our, there's one question that I was hesitant to ask, but I'm almost certain that Naf just simply wants the answer. Naf is a very big jokester when it comes to all of his questions, and I'm like, you know what? I'll put it in just for fun. Yeah, I saved it for the last question of the interview, at least, anyways. Okay. Nothing to do with Smash. He's simply asking, waffles or pancakes?
Oh boy.
You ask him his opinion. Look, personally for me, I don't care. They both food. They're both food. But I guess as a question, like, go ahead. This is by pure bias and opinion or anything like that. I know, so just go for it. So, tell everybody what you think.
So, funny enough, I went to a tournament. This is in North Carolina, I believe, and I was invited over, and it was like a B tier. It's pretty cool. But this place I was staying, it was like a hotel staying at, and they had a little waffle maker, right? So, before that, I wasn't like the biggest fan of waffles, not really. But when it got to making a fresh waffle, like batter in it, nothing frozen and just warmed up in a toaster. I mean, like, freshly made, battered, just a waffle. And I put that, that warm syrup on it. It was something else. I felt like I was missing out on something for so many years. Now, mind you, I've had pancakes for the longest time. I love pancakes. If you ask me now, Vendetta, do you prefer pancakes or waffles? Both of them being, handmade from, like, batter. made from batter, in my opinion, is waffles.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
It just is. If you like I said, if they were like in a toaster or something like that, I'd say like, yeah, pancakes. But like waffles being just freshly made are just a different experience. I just cannot get over. I can't.
That's the thing. Like I be telling my friends all the time, right? Like, yo, like they ask me the one question, like waffles or pancakes. I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Waffles, if you're making them fresh, like pancakes, you can make them fresh too. Like I don't care what anyone says. Like pancakes, you can make them fresh and you put them in the pan. If you know how to flip a pancake, like really good, you know how to cook it and everything like that. Fresh pancakes are good, right? With the right syrup, that is too, and everything like that. Like I'm picky about it. Waffles, on the other hand, waffles just has something missing from pancakes that, like, I don't know what it is, right? Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, waffles, like, you're making them from scratch and everything, but what's missing from them that make them so better than, like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me speculating. I don't know what it is. Like, if you ask me one or two, like, I'm probably gonna pick the one waffles probably, but I don't really care. Like, I really don't care. But waffles, in a sense, considering enough that you actually brought it to where it makes sense, like you were going to a B tier and everything, and you were staying at a hotel, like, how does that happen? How does that even work? It just so happens, oh, you were going to a B tier, and that's like one of the times where I tried waffles, and like that's funny. That's funny. So, yeah, we're through. This is all the questions and everything, guys. Your one and only VendettaFGC. Amazing interview. He told, even while I'm thinking, actually, like, quick question. Do you consider making a Metafy at one point? Because I would definitely need to fight against, like, a good Kennery. I'm just saying.
So I've had Metafy for about a couple of years now.
Oh, actually?
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah. I'm just Vendetta on there. I know like a lot of other players like to have like different names. I'm just Vendetta on there. So yeah, like they have me as like one of the top experts on like the front page. So like, yeah, I'm there.
Well, I'm gonna give it over to him. Like, Vendetta, if you have like you got any questions for me or the Smush production team or anything like that, anything that you would think of or anything like that, because I don't really mind. It was one of those one-on-one interviews or anything like that, I guess. So
I don't think I have any questions. I'm just kind of happy to kind of just be a part of the community and just looking forward to looking forward to the rest of the tournaments that happen. It's really nice. It's really nice to kind of be here.
That's good. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all that we have. If you wanna plug your stuff, like your Twitter and everything like that, then feel free to do so. Yep, go for it.
Yeah, I don't have anything to plug. I mean, I'm all right.
All right, you good? Nah, that's fine. Yeah. Well, y'all, that's the interview. Again, thank you, Vendetta, for taking your time to do this interview, and we appreciate that as per usual. And we're looking forward to you most likely winning next week's tournament. I'm not gonna predict anything, but considering how you've been playing recently in these tournaments, like I think you've won the last like 2 or 3 or something like that. I think you're even considered the first seed. That being said, like second right under you was like what, Peru, Jazar, and Jazar hasn't played in a while. I haven't seen him in these tournaments, but yeah, like your first seed considerably in our tournament. So thanks for making them very big, and I suppose very popular, at least anyways. A lot more people are joining because of you, so that's really good, and we appreciate that as per always. And we're all done. All right. Appreciate you. Thank you as always, and you have a good day, all right?
Yeah, you too, yeah.
All right now. All right. Cool. Y'all, that's the interview. Appreciate those who are tuning in and everything like that. I was also recording this as well. Because we're gonna be putting this on the Smush channel as well. We're gonna be putting this on the Smush YouTube channel, so that way you guys can watch it on there on YouTube. That's gonna be completely unedited. Yeah, that's gonna be completely unedited. There's no reason to edit it. It was pretty like straightforward, like get to the questions, question after question after question, and we got through it. So that seemed good and awesome. But we're all through. Now my thing is, do I decide if I want to practice PGC or not? We'll see. Depends, because it's already noon. I do have work at 4, so I'll have to stop at 2. I think I can probably I can probably do that, but I'm gonna stop streaming for a little bit. I'm gonna get everything set back up for my side of stream, and I'll probably go live in about the next 15-ish minutes or so. We'll see, depends. And yeah, we're all good. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Vendetta live stream Smash Bros interview, and we hope you have a good one. As per the Smush production team, we thank you as always for watching these videos and everything like that. On behalf of them and me myself, we thank you. If you want more content like this as well, you can also go to the Twitter. I'm pretty sure we made a quick little Twitter post and everything like that for the interview. We pinged in our Discord server and everything like that. So I wish I had like the actual stuff, like I had the links ready for it, but I don't. So I'll probably just put them like in the recording, and you'll go through the recording from there. So I didn't have them ready for the stream, but yeah, we're all good. I'm going to take off for now. Probably go live at around like 12. No, I'll say like 12:15 or 12:30 or so, and we'll see. Y'all have a good one. Peace. Alright, we're gonna end this here. Actually, wait. Should we raid? No, I won't raid because I'm gonna go live later, so we're all good.